Now, I'm going to back up a little bit as people are getting a little itchy here. Oh, officer there was a taser, not out. He's putting his water away. That's what he was doing. I think that was making people a little antsy. And if we have a look behind, you can see there the smouldering wreck. That is the police, the fire brigade even, who have put out the fire, and that is now smouldering away. Right. You can see there the immense damage done to the front of Bridewell police station. Some holes there, definitely some cracks. And chants behind me here of Kill the Bill.
Who are you filming for?
Bristol Tab, we're live.
Huh?
Bristol Tab, we're live.
Bristol Tab. Okay.
Yeah. Check it out afterwards. I don't think I caught your face though.
I don't think you should be filming loads of people's faces on it though.
It's a public street. Oh, if you want to be on there. So folks, this is, you know, there's a question there from a lady whether I should be filming this in people's faces. To be entirely blunt, this is a public place. People have no reasonable expectation of privacy. They are out here at a protest deliberately. Police are wearing body cameras. The police have been filming people all day. And they will have the faces of people who are here. Gentleman there with a shovel. Right, folks, I'm going to wander back here for a minute, see what's going on at the back. More bottles there, launched at police. Why is it that every time I decide to step back, something happens? But it's not kicking off so much as probably just one drunk person deciding to do something stupid. But let's see what happens. People are moving back, moving away. And I listened in earlier on a chat with a police person between an officer and a protester. The protester was saying, "So when are you going home? When are you going home?" And the officer was replying, "Well, when are you going home? When are you going home?" And there was a bit of a back and forth, which was quite amusing. As you can see here, folks, the damage done to this police van is quite something. There will be, I mean, God, if I'm doing some quick maths here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 police vans at least that have been damaged today. Either graffitied, damaged, vandalised, or both. So lots of damage done today. And as I said, the police are wearing body cameras, and there's no doubt CCTV throughout the city centre here. And they said in a statement that they will be following up after this event, after the protest, and potentially issuing fines, or, you know, as a result of this, maybe more. We'll have to see what the police say. And I haven't actually looked to see if they've released a statement recently. Oh, and the beeping there is cross the road. The light's green, you can cross the road. Right, we're going to wander back this way, folks, and see what everyone's doing. So as you can see here, let's go around this way, shall we? Actually, I'm not really sure. Actually, I'm going to go around this gentleman if these officers are okay with that, just to head this way. Thanks, folks. Don't want to disrupt them. But as you can see, officers there holding the line in front of the Bridewell police station, as you might expect. And we're going to move this way. Sign there that says, "Fuck the system." And we'll just wander around this van. So, you know, very little, I mean, no police presence back over in this area. I mean, if I go for a wander round here, which I'm going to, stretch my legs a bit and take off my mask safely for a minute. You know, we've got some folks here at a pub table. Obviously the pub's not open. They bought their own booze and they're having a drink. Over here, some folks sitting on a wall, having a chill out. About half an hour ago, they were having a bit of a party here. There was a boom box, the whole shebang, but they seem nice and calm. And as I say, no police here at all. Now, I'm going to wander this direction, because people are walking up and down this road here. Should we take a walk, folks, and see? Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. We're going to walk this way, and we're going to see what's going on at the back. So, this is the station. This is the side road here, and that there is the main road heading through Broadmead towards the city centre. Now, it's the street this way, on this side of me here, on the other side of this building, where the police van burnt out earlier, and where there are now lines of police on the other side. Now, I didn't wander around here earlier simply because I didn't want to miss any action around the front where it seemed to be happening, but it's rather calm, so we're going to take a wander around this way. So folks, just to remind you while I'm walking to my next location, my name is Ben. I'm the news editor of the Bristol Tab, and we're here in Bristol city centre. We're coming up now to, I'll show you here, Holland and Barrett, where I'm going to walk around and see what the police lines are doing. The Bridewell police station has been under siege most of the afternoon, most of the evening, I should say, for the last three and a half hours or so. Oh, and if we wander around the back, so here is SWX, for any of you wondering, any students, and you may recognise Pret there, and that's the way into Broadmead Galleries and Cabot Circus. But we're going to wander this way. And as you can see, protesters, lots of boys. Those scooters are blooming popular in this city. And we'll see if we can get a view on what's going on here. So, you can see potentially there, riot police are holding the line. Here come more scooters. A crowd of protesters gathered here. Now, I did hear they were throwing things earlier, so I am not going to wander in too far. It's like a police car destroyed there. But if we look here, I'm going to wander in this way. I'm not going to go too close because someone did say that people were throwing things earlier. But that there is the police line. Police station at the end of the road where we were standing earlier. And that there, folks, is the shell of a police van that was burnt out by protesters. The fire brigade did not come in immediately, so there were protesters absolutely everywhere. But in the last half hour, they did come and put out the blaze. Now, if we have a look here, we can see still plenty of protesters around, and they're gathered round a police car. There is a gentleman... Oh, in fact, two lads there on the roof. Three of them, in fact, I should say. Let's take a wander around this way. And we can see Sabaganda. The wreckage of a police car. Savaganda from this angle, shall we, folks? So that looks like it was burnt out. Now, I hadn't seen this earlier. I was, if you keep following the road that way, I was on the other side there, but there are police blocking direct path. But that there, in front of Cedar Express, is a burnt out police car with a laptop on the roof for some reason or other. And no police, they're just holding the line on the other side, as I showed you just before. But, you can still smell the burning. You can still smell the wreckage there. And folks just hanging about. I mean, not much is going on here. So I am going to take a wander back now to the central area in front of Bridewell Police Station and see what's going on. Maybe it's calmed down, maybe it's kicked off. I can't see or hear from where I am now. But look, more and more people gathering in this area. Police officers there holding the line, the fire brigade, and the burnt out police car. Right. Let's wander back, folks. Right. So let's recap briefly kind of what's happened today. So my name is Ben, first of all. Lovely to see you all. I'm the news editor of the Bristol Tab. And I'm here live in Bristol City Centre. As you can see, I'll flip the camera around there. That's SWX. I'm here in a very recognisable student area. Yes, I'm an XWX fan. Do not judge me for that. Great nights in there. And this is a Kill the Bill protest. Now, it started at 2 p.m. this afternoon. People started gathering around then on College Green. And police were just engaging with people, asking them to disperse. But as, crowds gathered and gathered, there wasn't much they could do. It would have been very hard to disperse that amount of people. And it was described throughout the afternoon as a carnival atmosphere. Everyone was listening to music, having a dance, having a chat. They were having a good time. Now, I should note the protests are currently banned under coronavirus lockdown legislation. And the police did issue a statement this morning warning people and asking people not to turn up because it is illegal to do so. But people did, and police let it happen. They engaged peacefully, and that was the end of it. And then a group of protesters ended up marching from Castle Park round to where I am now, heading towards Broadmead and Bridewell, the Bridewell police station, where they, from what the Bristol Live reporter was saying on his screen, it was protesters that started graffitiing the van and began to shake it and try and knock it over. And then, at that point, the riot police all came out of the Bridewell police station, and they boxed in protesters. There were scuffles between them. The police used pepper spray on a lot of the protesters. They used batons as well. We spoke earlier to a student called Izzy, whose friend Dan had ended up in A&E after scuffling with police. So it's been quite an eventful day, and we're still here. I mean, we're 9:34 p.m. And we're still here in New Bridewell. Protesters still around, certainly not as many as there were before, and it's a much more relaxed atmosphere. The police did have to move in with horses after a police van was set on fire and the situation was escalating. But I mean, we're fairly calm, and it seems like the police are just waiting it out, if I'm honest. I mean, I'll show you behind me here. So that there is Bridewell police station, and in front of it, and it does seem the police are just waiting it out, seeing what the protesters will do, and we'll have to wait and see. So let's take a wander through and see if anything's happened since I've been around the back. So I'm walking in the direction, you're looking in the direction of sort of, you head that way, you'll get to Broad Quay, and then you'll get to Park Street, College Green, and that area. And behind me is Cabot Circus, Broadmead, all of that. Definitely fewer crowds here, but you can feel the smoke in the air from the police van. You can taste it. It really is thick and heavy in the air. Let's wander through. Police here still holding the line in front of the Bridewell police station. We'll wander around this way. So you can see Taka Taka there just behind the police van. Again, still unknown if they're still trading. They were earlier. People popping in and out despite the protests, but we'll see what they're doing now.
Because we can't for you guys. Because we can't call the police and feel safe. The police But who do we call? Protecting the state. Not people.
We're going to keep wandering around this way. They were looking at me a little bit annoyed that I was filming, and I'm not in the mood to start fighting with people. Oh, that was something lobbed onto a police van. And there are riot police still in the vans waiting to move, as well as those holding the lines here. But, I mean, if I give you kind of an overview of the crowd, I mean, I couldn't move here earlier, folks. I mean, it was jammed. And here, you know, I could social distance. I am social distancing, in fact. You know, there is enough space, not enough people. There's a dude blowing smoke at the police there. See, most protesters are just kind of standing back, but some are engaging. And the ones that are, you know, the police aren't responding, as far as I can tell, as far as I've seen. And they are being taunted. But then, you know, the protesters are really trying to make their point about this bill. There also does seem to be concern that they can't trust the police. This protest has turned against, you know, from against the bill to anti-police, which, you know, I think speaks to a wider issue, especially after the Sarah Everard vigil in London. That was not policed very well, according to many commentators and analysts after the event. But no, it does seem fairly chill at the moment here, folks, to be entirely honest. Let's listen in here. She's reading chants off her phone there. It's not quite catching on like it did this morning. Oh, and I am next to a warm police van. If you can't hear that, they're chanting, "Get those animals off those horses." Lots of objections to using horses throughout kind of this protest. Chris, taka taka. Not tacky tacky, taka taka. I still follow the comments a bit. Yeah, Rich, I mean, social distancing isn't really happening. I mean, I can now because people have dispersed a lot more. But as you look around, not much of it going on. I will be honest, I'd say the majority are wearing masks, if not necessarily entirely over their nose. But vast majority are wearing masks, I'd say. But no, not exactly COVID secure. And you know, again, it is important to note that protests are currently illegal under coronavirus legislation. But these folks believe that it shouldn't be. We're going to wander back this way. Bit of a gap. I'm walking between the gap between the police and the protesters currently. Hope I'm not about to get hit by something. I'm going to move swiftly. Move swiftly away. Oh. And we're going to move around these guys here. Right, folks, I'm looking at the time, so, you know, depending what happens, you know, this has been calm for quite a while now, so I probably won't hang out too much longer, but, you know, we're still live, we're still going, I've still got battery life, so let's hang out for a bit and see what happens. So, just to recap, if you're just tuning in, my name's Ben Block. I am the news editor of the Bristol Tab, and we're live in Bristol City Centre at a Kill the Bill protest. So these folks are very much against Priti Patel's proposed legislation that's making its way through the House of Commons that would give the police more power to limit the right to protest. And these folks say, no, kill the bill. Now, it started off peacefully on College Green this afternoon. So I'm going to pop my mouse down a minute as I am in an open space here. So it started on College Green at about 2 p.m. this afternoon. And it was peaceful all afternoon. If you want to see coverage of that, head to @TheBristolTab on Instagram. And you'll see all of our footage on our story. And that was peaceful right the way through the day. It was described as a carnival atmosphere by one Twitter user. One of our reporters said, good vibes. But then around, 6-ish, the protesters ended up here in the city centre, and I'll just show you where I am here. There's Primark, the Atomic Diner. So if you head in that direction there, you'll get to the Bear Pit. and they basically surrounded the Bridewell police officer, and out came riot police, and things got rough. Police used batons, they used pepper spray, protesters pushed back, launched projectiles at police, a police van was burnt out. I mean, these are some of the most violent protests that, to my memory, Bristol's seen in quite a few years. I've been here in Bristol for 5 years now, and I've never seen a protest like this, and I've attended a lot of them throughout my reporting. Right, we're going to keep wandering through here. Oh. Let's wander back and see. People kind of leaving, and you know, still the sound system that was in place earlier, though not quite the party that it was. Let's wander around this way. So folks, I'll just show you here. You can see water and milk, you can see beer as well, but what I want to tell you about is the water and the milk. So protesters brought milk with them to put in the eyes after being pepper sprayed, because the milk, as you can see all over here, it helps to deactivate the chemical agent that is in pepper spray, so it helps stop the eyes from itching. So that's why there's a lot of milk everywhere. And there's also people cleaning up, people gathering bags of rubbish. So, a bit contradictory, but... Alright, let's wander this way. So it does appear that the police are, you know, they're not being so pushy at the moment. I mean, everyone's just having a bit of a chat through here. Let's take a wander to the front of the lines. So here we are at the front of the police lines.
10 years for protesting, 4 years for rape! 10 years for protesting, 4 years for rape! Get those animals off those horses!
We'll note here, folks, that the police do not pass laws. The government does. The police enforce them. Just to be factual there. But the point stands, they do not think that this bill is appropriate, that it should pass. It is the bill that will limit, that will give the power to police to limit protests more than they can at the moment, which is minimal at the moment. Behind there, mounted police, as you can see. With some protesters talking to those mounted police officers as well. We're going to wander back. Let's wander through this way. But you do have to wonder what, you know, if you have a look around me here, you know, we kind of have to wonder what's the plan. You know, they're stood here holding the line, but at a certain point, you know, they can't live here. So, you know, and also what should be noted about this particular protest is that following the Sarah Everard protest in London, where the organisers were threatened with £10,000 fines, this protest was organised without organisers, so that no one could be liable for a £10,000 fine. Police have, to my knowledge, not been able to track down who the organisers were, and therefore, you know, it has been very difficult for them to disrupt or to prevent this protest from going ahead. So that's where we are, and because there are no organisers, you know, what's the plan? I don't think anyone does have a plan. I think everyone's just kind of going with the flow. And we're going to see where the flow takes us for another, you know, 10-15 minutes or so. But things are definitely calming down. If you have a look, people are kind of walking away there. So, and the police certainly, if I show you here, they're looking much more relaxed than they were earlier. No batons out in hands, not surrounded and confronted by protesters, but holding the line in front of their police station that has been damaged by protesters throwing projectiles at the building, and they have graffitied as well in another area of the building. You can see there, Officers' Riot Shield has been graffitied as well, alongside all of the vans that we've got. I mean, if I do some quick maths here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I'd say police vans have at least been graffitied, if not more. So some significant damage done tonight during scuffles between protesters and police. But in the meanwhile, I'll show you here, a bit of a party going on. Don't need to wait till June 21st. Here they are. Delivery riders still trying to do their jobs despite this. And folks, again, if you're wondering, I cannot tell you if Taka Taka's still open or not. I just don't know. I can't see it. I just can't see it. Oh, what's going on over here? Protesters getting a little rough with police. It's getting confrontational here. So this is the front of the police line. Behind the vans that you're looking at is Taka Taka. Behind me is the Bridewell police station in Bristol city centre. And we are at the police line, who are enforcing a hard cordon here in the city centre. I mean, this would usually be one of the busiest through streets in Bristol city centre, but it is entirely closed tonight. Right, folks, I'm moving back a minute because projectiles are still being launched and I don't want to get hit by anything. This gentleman believes the royal family should be arrested. We're going to wander this way.
I didn't want to walk around, so I just sat there and put it through.
Let's wander around the back, see what folks are doing over here. I mean, broken glass everywhere. I mean, I'd be surprised if this road could open in the morning. Sorry, mate. Just because of the sheer amount of broken glass here, you do wonder if cars can actually drive through here without slicing their tyres. Could be a bit of a mess. But as we wander back this way, I mean, look, I can easily social distance walking around. Music over here. People just chilling out. Right, folks, we're going to give it until 10 o'clock, so another 10 minutes. I'm going to stay here. It is a school night for me. I do have a degree to do tomorrow as well. I am a student. But folks, if you just tuned in, my name is Ben and I'm the news editor of the Bristol Tab. You can find me on Twitter at RealBenBlock. And you can see all of our coverage from this afternoon, the peaceful Kill the Bill protests that are on the Bristol Tab Instagram. So at the Bristol Tab, head to Instagram and see what it was. Now this only turned rough around about 6 p.m. or so, maybe a little bit before that, as protesters came to the Bridewell police station here in the city centre. So, you know, they've been here nearly 4 hours now, if not more. And the protest has been going since 2 p.m. this afternoon. So it's definitely been a big day. Police did issue a statement this morning asking people not to attend, noting that it is currently illegal to attend a protest under coronavirus legislation. But people did still show up, and the police let people protest on College Green this morning. They marched through the city centre. They were in Castle Park. And, you know, to be fair, the police were vastly outnumbered this morning. There were a good 3,000 people there this afternoon, I should say. They were vastly outnumbered. So there wasn't much they could do. But as protesters came to the Bridewell police station, which is down the road just behind me here, that's when things did start to get quite rough. And when protesters and police did start to get into a bit of a scuffle between them. So I'll just show you where we are here. So as I say, here in Bristol city centre, in this direction, we've got the Bear Pit. If you follow kind of where that bus is heading there, I'm not sure if you can see, that'll take you to the Bear Pit and routes out of Bristol. Here we've got the start of Broadmead, and that will take you down to Cabot Circus. And this here is the Bridewell area of Bristol that is under siege. The Bridewell police station this afternoon, this evening, under siege. Thanks, Wendy. I will be heading home fairly shortly, as it's looking rather calm. And frankly, you know, numbers have definitely diminished. And I think that, you know, if the police were to attempt to move in now, they would be able to disperse the crowd and successfully move forwards. However, it is, you know, apart from the odd protester, it is fairly relaxed at the moment. And I think the police are waiting them out. You know, I'm not the only one who has uni tomorrow. I'm not the only one who has school tomorrow. I'm not the only one who has work tomorrow. You know, tomorrow is Monday, the start of a new working week. Everyone's had a good time. It's been a long day. And people are definitely headed home. I mean, an hour ago, this area here that you're looking at was full of people having a dance party. I mean, it was a speaker, there was booze, and everyone was having a good time. But, you know, there are people wandering off, not entirely sure where they're going. Let's have a peek and see if that's any interest, or they really are just heading home. And they're probably running to one of the many Voy scooters. You can hear sirens in the background. Not sure why. But here, road is still open, so I'm going to move as that car is approaching me. Doesn't look like there's much of interest going on there, and you can't really get round the police. I mean, you can get to the other side of police lines, but frankly, I think they'd have more luck making their voice heard over here. And the smoke from the burnt out police van is still thick and heavy in the air. News crews have arrived. They had stayed away, but they're here having a chat with some of the protesters. Looks like it's now safe for the media to come in. Yeah, folks, I'm going to wrap it up in about 2 or 3 minutes here. I'm going to avoid getting myself on camera here. We'll take one last wander in, and then I think I might stop at the other Taka on my way home and get myself a snack. It's been a long day. Not this one here. The police won't let me go to it. But, you know, while we're here, final shots of the van here in front of Bridewell Police Station. Officers there. So this is the last dregs of the Kill the Bill protest that started at 2 p.m. this afternoon on College Green. And they emerged here, arrived here. About 6 p.m. they got here. Now there's warnings to move back, and I'm not entirely sure why. Now the gentleman you're looking at here is a legal observer. There are legal observers at this protest, making note, keeping track of what's going on. Some good music. Much more my vibe. Right. Let's wander this way. You know, as you can see, you know, plenty of space here. There's one row of people engaging officers with a Kill the Bill sign, making their point. That there says Kill the Bill. Making their point very bluntly. I should note that most officers are not wearing masks. They are wearing their riot shields, but some of them do have them up at the moment. So they are maskless. Now, to be fair, the crowd hasn't particularly been respecting social distancing or anything like that when engaging officers. But worth noting nonetheless. And still protesters there up on the roof. Let me give you one last shot of those guys. On the roof of the police station behind the van, and still in the parking garage there. Right, should we say hello? A couple of people here want to say hello to the live stream.
Yo, what's good? The whole thing's crazy. Fuck the police, yeah? Everything's mad out here, yeah? We're all trying to peace and love for everyone, yeah? I just
Peace and love for everyone. That's the message.
Yeah, wanna spread it. Wanna spread peace and love. I ain't for nothing. At no one, no thing, yeah? All day, have a good night.
Nice one, mate. You too. Thank you for your comments there. I'd say he's had a bit to drink. I think that would be fair to say. Oh, something just went boom. Right, that's around the other side. So I'm going to make my way around and see what's going on. Looks like bedtime is extended, folks. So that was an explosion around the other side where I went earlier. I'm going to move in and see what's going on. And if there's nothing going on, then I might be off home. We'll see what happens. But at least in this area, chilled. Music going on here, chilled. And one of the busiest roads in the middle of Bristol is closed. Someone calling me. Yes. Can we shout? Shout out pool table.
Pool table, shout out to Yoga Mat.
Shout out Yoga Mat. Cheers, Ben. Appreciate the work you're doing, mate.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Please, we have some fans. Easier to let them do a shout out than anything else.
Yeah, you getting the video?
You alright, guys? Wanna say hi?
How's your life going, mate?
My life's pretty good. How's yours?
Yeah,
How's your
it's all
afternoon
good.
been?
I'm on the tab.
Yeah? How's your afternoon been?
Wicked.
Wicked. Were you at College Green at 2?
Yeah, I was there today, yeah.
What are you here for?
Is it you? What are you?
I'm here to protest.
You'll
Is
see
it
it.
you?
Listen, then.
There we go.
Yeah. Was on the protest.
Yeah. So why are you guys
You
here?
want to borrow this or no?
No,
What
guys,
about my
I'm filming.
cigar?
I'm just seeing what's going on. Tell me why you guys are here. What brought you down?
Oh, because we just seen a drama, so we thought we'd just tag along.
You thought you'd just come and see what's going on?
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, that hurts my ears, but you're making the point. You're making the point.
What's going on right now, then?
Not sure, but a car seemed to blow up over there, so we're going to head over there and have a look.
Let's go and see the blown up car.
Let's go and check it out. Right. I'm going to take social distance a minute, so I'm going to take my mask off. And have a... Oh, there's a car trying to get through. He's not going to have a good time. Yeah, he's going to have a bit of difficulty. I believe this is the right way down the street, but yeah, you're not going anywhere, fella. No, absolutely nowhere. So here we are. So this, you may recognise, will take you into Broadmead. Here we've got SWX, student favourite. I don't remember far too many nights here. And the crowd is definitely built over here. It was not this busy when I was down here 10 minutes ago, well, 20 minutes ago. And I've hit my exercise goal for the day. Not that you care, but it's good news for me. It's been a bit of a lazy Sunday until now. So folks, we're now around the back of where Bridewell Police Station is. So that road there on the right, that takes you out to Bridewell Police Station there, where there is a police line blocking it, which is why I've had to take the long route round. Now here, if we have a wander through, I'll pop my mask on, see what's going on. So folks, when we were around here about half an hour ago, This car had been damaged and burnt, but it looks like it's been set alight once again. And I'm going to back up a little bit just in case it goes boom. There's folks there on the roof, but let me see if I can get a good position. That is a burning police vehicle. Now, I should note that the front of Cedar Express there, that looks like wood panelling. And it's right next to the car that's on fire. Now, police have not moved in. I'll show you the police line just there. They have stayed put. Meanwhile, crowds have gathered, myself included. And that's also the bin, looks like it's on fire as well. That just went boom. Folks are backing up. So folks, just to recap, if you're just joining us, this is a Kill the Bill protest. It started at 2 p.m. on College Green, where thousands of people gathered, 3,000 people, and it was a peaceful march through the city this afternoon, and ended in Castle Park, where it's described as a bit of a carnival. One of our reporters said it was good vibes, and then protesters proceeded round to the Bridewell police station, where they ended up in confrontation with the police, who had let them protest all afternoon, but the riot police did move in at one point. And it has resulted in police using pepper spray on protesters, on damage to vehicles. Missiles and rockets were thrown at police. Police used batons and riot shields against protesters. So altogether, some of the most violent protests that Bristol's seen since at least I've been here. And I've been here 5 years, which isn't long in the grand scheme of things, but it's still a fair amount of time. Someone going to touch the flames. He's lighting a cigarette. Someone just lit a cigarette in the burning car. And someone throwing something at it there. Folks, I'm not going to move any closer just in case it does. And as I say, you know, police lines there, they have not moved. They're staying put, at least for the time being. As I say, police haven't made any arrests as far as we're aware this afternoon. They haven't issued any fines. They've engaged with protesters, but beyond that, you know, throughout the peaceful protest and when it got rough, they have not arrested anyone, to my knowledge. But they did publish a statement on their Twitter feed earlier today saying that they would be looking at footage of the event in order to identify those here to potentially issue fines or, you know, other sanctions, depending on the breach. Right. Not much going on here, folks, beyond a burning car. So I'm going to, you know, have a little wander. Oops. So, let's move to the side. Take a little bit of a pause here, away from people. So, just moving away for a moment, folks. So as you can see behind me, crowds gathered. If I show you in front of me here, that is the new Bridewell student accommodation block, the back side of it. And this here is sort of the back road into Cabot Circus where the buses come. So straight ahead is the galleries. If you make a left there, you'll right out to the Bridewell police station there. It's a very familiar area for Bristolians and for students as well. And here, I'm stood right outside the lanes. Outside the bowling alley, the lanes. another recognisable landmark here. But you know, folks making a loop, some dispersing, some not. Should we take a wander and see what's going on around here? So we're going to head now to the back of the police lines, kind of where New Bridewell is. I don't know if I'll be able to get there, but let's check it out. Let's see what we've got. So it is open. This is the back of the New Bridewell student accommodation here. People who've had the best view in the house all night. Gates securely locked there of New Bridewell, not a student in sight. And a helicopter has been circling all evening up in the sky, obviously. Gosh, it's been a long stream. So folks, here I am on the other side of the police lines. Now, if I wander this way, you'll be able to see. Now, there is an alarm of some description going off. I'm really not sure what it is. Potentially the car park there, as people are walking in and out of the car park. But we're going to wander this way and see what we've got. So, yes, what went boom earlier was probably that bin that is smouldering. That is a bit of a wreck there, still on fire. So, here we've got police lines with... Sorry, what just made me chuckle there was a customer parking only sign. I don't know if you can see that has been placed on the police van there. So there you've got Taka Taka, so you can see kind of where I am. And the police have kind of made a line of holding a hard cordon here in the middle to kind of block off the New Bridewell police station. So, you know, they haven't really moved in the last hour and a bit, so I think they're kind of waiting for protesters to disperse, which I think they will. But again, that remains to be seen. Got another delivery rider just trying to do his job that cannot get in because of the hard police cordon. Taka Taka here, caught in the middle of it all. Taka Taka, always the centre of the action here in Bristol. Right, let's turn it around. So, folks, my name's Ben. He's editor of the Bristol Tab. We're here in Bristol city centre outside the Bridewell police station, where protesters held it under siege for most of the evening. They've been here for gone 4 hours now, probably more. Scuffles with police happened. Police used pepper spray, their batons, riot shields. Protesters threw missiles, threw bottles, threw all sorts of projectiles at the police. They even burnt out one of the police vans earlier on today, so if you stroll back in the stream later, you'll be able to see that. As I say, the protest did start off peaceful this afternoon. They are protesting against the government's proposed legislation that will give the police more powers to limit the right to protest. So yeah, that is the modus operandi, the motive, I should say, for being out here today. Let's have a look and see what we're doing. Over the other side, it seems still fairly peaceful. I'm going to wander around, folks, one more time just to see what's going on. But the police here holding the lines very, very strongly. And no protesters around this side. Still folks up here on the roof. Let's get some good shots of these guys. I mean, literally watching the show unfold. Camera crews up there as well, which is good fun. There we go. And the police lines. And I got to tell you, I'm standing in the middle of this road. And this is the strange thing. Hey, Dave, FYI, do you see any people around? No mask at this particular moment, but please be reassured, I have been wearing my mask when in the crowds. But you may have noticed not exactly many people around me at this particular moment. So, you know, they've been here 4 hours or so. It's more than 4 hours. It's hard to say, you know, how much longer this will go on for. This is a school night. I don't know how many people here care, but, you know, tomorrow is Monday. I've certainly got uni stuff to do tomorrow. The week starts. People will have jobs and things to go to. So, I don't know how long this is going to go on for. It's a lot of young people here, and we know that a lot of young people, as a result of the pandemic and other issues, are struggling a lot with employment, as are people across the country. And this is still a really tough time. And there's certainly been a sense that, especially when people were dancing out in the street earlier and they had the boombox, there was a sense that they were sort of letting off steam and letting off frustration after what has been, you know, a tough year for everyone, for absolutely everyone. It's been a very tough year. But then, you know, we are still in this pandemic. Legislation still prohibits protest, and that's where we are. Now, just for Dave, here we go. Mask is going on as I'm approaching crowds of people. I'll show you where I am. So we're approaching Cedar Express here. Lebanese takeaway just down from SWX, where the police car is clearly still burning. Police lines still holding here. But that police car is burning. It doesn't seem to have spread to Cedar Express there. But it should be noted, you know, the frames of their door there are wooden, and the frames of their windows there. So let's see if I can get it any closer. There's also a bin behind it that was on fire earlier. Let's have a look here. Just from where I'm standing, folks, you can feel the heat. You can feel the heat. Right, I'm going to keep moving as people watch here. Excuse me, guys, thank you. And I'm going to wander around the back to the main protest, although it does appear that most people are coming around this way. I mean, if we have a look behind me here, it's a big crowd of people. I'm really not sure what this alarm is, but we shall find out. Oh God, what button did I just press? Okay, I'm good. So there is an alarm going off, and I'm not going to go adventuring and exploring. But folks, you know, as protesters spread around the city, people are heading out in groups. It's hard to know whether they're going home or what they're off to do. There's been a lot of booze, a lot of drinking this afternoon. So we'll just have to see kind of how the night unfolds. But the police aren't moving. The police are kind of holding their lines and waiting for protests to disperse, to head out. But yeah, we'll have to see kind of where they go. But folks, if you're just tuning in, or if you've been with me the whole time, thank you so much. It's been great to see so many people on what I think is the Bristol Tab's first ever live stream. So thank you for joining us. Ben Coco, that's an interesting name. I'll take it. But if you're just tuning in, we're here in... Oh, move off the pavement, onto the pavement here. We're here in Bristol City Centre. We are in the area of the New Bridewell police station that was under siege this afternoon from about 6 p.m. for a couple of hours now, and there are still protesters in the area. So it's been quite the afternoon. Let's see what's going on over here. Seems a little lively. Are they having a dance? Is it more than that? Let's have a look. Yeah, they're having a dance. Bit of karaoke by the looks of it. Yeah. No need for June 21st, folks. It's all right here. Right. And these officers here have been holding the line all evening. And media still making the rounds, speaking to protesters, no doubt. Let's have a wander through and see what we've got. Right. So, look, folks, I mean, people were crammed in here earlier to confront the police, but now, you know, I mean, I can social distance walking through here. Media here doing their shot in front of the police lines. And they're all just stood back watching. Now if we come up to this line here, so this there you've got Taka Taka, that there is the Bridewell police station. Head that way, you get to Broadkey, Clifton, that area, and here, Taka Taka, and the next police line. Let's have a gander. So, right, police, still here. You can still feel the smell of that burning police van from earlier today. Folks engaging still with the police. And people still on the roof there. I mean, let me zoom in. There was, just a second ago, an officer in that window above where the people are standing. But he has moved away by the looks of it. But, you know, folks are still on the roof there. Let's zoom it back out. But half the people that there were, 2 hours ago. That is for absolute sure. We'll see how long, but, the police don't seem to be in any rush to disperse people. And there'll certainly be a clean-up job to do. Broken glass absolutely everywhere. Right. We're going to wander out. So, folks, we're going to wander through here. And we're going to head to a place that's a little bit less full of people. So, yeah, I mean, this is clearly much less than it was earlier. Lots of people filming, taking photos. People having a dance. Some people still, attempting to confront the police. Some people still, trying to have their say and just, speak out against the bill. Lots of anger directed towards the police tonight, folks, for various reasons. Mentions of how people can't trust the police, how they don't feel confident calling them if they have an issue, and I think it's in reference to Sarah Everard and her tragic death very, very recently. Folks, I don't know if there's much more to show you, and it is, it's 10:20. So I'm going to sign off here, as it looks like it's all going to be calm for most of the evening. Let me show you behind here. Folks, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I think this was the Bristol Tab's first live stream. So thank you so much for being with us. My name's Ben. I'm the news editor of the Bristol Tab. If it kicks off again while I'm still here in the next 10 minutes or so, I will go back live again. But until then, I wish you a really pleasant evening, a really good week. Take care. Bye-bye.